guys, welcome back. I was supposed to be working on Centipede tonight, but I ended up having to replace the brakes on my van and do an oil change because I'm getting new tires put on Saturday, and I wanted to make sure that the brakes were done and everything else before the tires went on. So I ended up spending a lot more time than I thought repairing that stuff. It's after 9 o'clock already. So I figured I'd at least come in the basement, pull the lamp driver board out of here, and we're going to test some of those transistors and see if they are bad for those two lights that are not working. And I have the pool cue ball and the shafts and the bearings to rebuild the Centipede. So what I'm planning on doing tomorrow's video, I'm hoping to, knock on wood, have it finished. Have Centipede finished tomorrow in tomorrow's video. In the morning, I'm going to start recording. I'm going to get the black painted on the cabinet. Then I have to run out and do some things for a while. And then when I come back, I'm going to finish recording, putting the coin door on, the control panel, putting the trackball back together, and getting the game working. And then supposedly Amazon is supposed to be delivering the locks that I ordered tomorrow for all three cabinets, because I ordered a bunch of locks with all the same key so that all three of these cabinets will have the same key for them. So let's turn on supersonic real quick and we'll put it in the lamp test mode, and we'll just verify what we're looking at here. So basically, like I said, I'm keep going. If it's late, I got to keep working on stuff. I got so many projects I need to get wrapped up here in the next 2 weeks that I don't have time to take a night off. So regardless of what time it is, I got to at least accomplish one thing a day down in the basement in order to get stuff done. So let's turn this on real quick. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to open the coin door, and there's a red button up here on the top of the coin door right here. Once it boots up, and we're going to press it. First press blinks all the lights on your board. And why is 5X all of a sudden working and it was not working yesterday? Or was that but we have a 7000 out, but that could be a bulb. But this 5X was not working. And I know the 8000 is not working. So that makes me wonder why that is doing that. So 7000 is not working. I can't see which one it is. This guy maybe. So that's kind of screwy. So here's what I'm going to do. Now that this did this, I don't know why it did that. Before I take the lamp driver board out, let's open it up. And let's make sure that, I got to pull this out a little bit. Oh yeah, I got two bulbs there that need replaced. I never put those two bulbs in. Let's make sure that it's not a wiring issue. Okay, so I know somebody told me that 5X is Q8 or Q50. Q1 is 5X, and then I believe the 8000 is Q50. So I just verified it, and how I verified it was I went and downloaded the lamp driver. It's 2 pages, and it tells you what location and what each transistor does. So for instance, 5X is currently working. The 8000 is not working. The 8000, I believe, is Q1. And that's what I believe he had said. But I just figured I'd verify it. And you would think that they would put them in order. 1 through 50 something. Nope. They're all over the place. So we got scroll down here and find Q1 again. I just looked at it earlier. Q1. And it is the bonus. Okay, so Q1 is the 5X. So then I think it was Q50. It is so freaking windy outside. It's crazy. And if you can hear that water noise in the background, that's the water, the groundwater going into the sump pump. And then the sump pump will kick on every so often. What is going on here? I cannot find Q50. I don't know why. There it is, Q50. Bonus 8K. And then Q38 is bonus 7K. But before I do that, I'm actually going to wiggle on some of these wires and see if maybe it's just not a wire. So here's what I'm going to do next. I wiggled on them, but nothing happened. So, I'm going to lift the playfield up while the back box is open, hopefully. It'll be a little tricky to film here, but I'll make it work. Okay, so I'm going to lift the playfield while the back box is open. I got to find something to kind of hold this door open farther. Like that. Get this thing lifted up just enough. Hate this stupid prop rods and these. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the 8000 that's not lit. And the wire color is blue with a red stripe, and then the 7000 is currently not lit, and that is a yellow and brown stripe. So I'm going to write that down on my paper as soon as I find a marker here. So 8000 is blue and red. And then the 7000, I'm almost thinking it's a wiring issue now and not a board issue, is yellow and brown. Now, I could always continuity test the wire if I need to. But first, before I do that, I actually want to see if I can find the wire up here in the connector. So we have a blue and red. I gotta put this playfield down. I hate the way it tilts to the one side. I'm gonna leave it up like that. Move this over to here. Zoom in a little bit. Look at those connectors on that lamp driver board. And we're looking for a blue and red. And then the other one's yellow and brown. Okay, I see no physical change with that. And that was just me kind of moving them a little bit. Next thing I want to do, that doesn't mean that the wire's still not messed up. We'll do a continuity test next. But the next thing I want to do is let's take the 7000 bulb and make sure that the bulb is just not bad. I know it's a new bulb, but does that really mean anything? It's blinking. The 7000 is blinking, but faintly blinking. So the bulb is probably bad, or something else is wrong. It could be the bulb. So let me, first thing first, easiest solution. Let's grab another orange bulb and try it. See what it does. So let me go grab one. Okay, got another orange LED. Let's put it in there, see if it's still dim or not. Still dim. Not the bulb. Okay, so we know it's not the bulb. Why did the 5X start working? I don't know. That could have been a contact problem, for all I know. So I guess before we pull the board out, let's do a, let's turn it off and we'll check the transistor. Hopefully I don't need to pull the transistor off the board. I think I could test it on the board. So let me shut it off. Now I'll take the board out if I have to, obviously. Obviously, if the transistor's bad, I'm gonna have to take it out. But I just really want to get this wrapped up so I can get this one off the list of things I gotta finish. Okay. So the 8000, I should have wrote that down, was Q50. Q50. Q50 right here. Might not be able to test it. Okay, did you hear that beep? Q50 is beeping. No other one is beeping. So Q50 is definitely bad. Okay. Yep, Q50 is 100% bad. So we know that we need to replace Q50, and now I need to look up what is the 7000. 7K bonus is Q38. Q38 is bad. So we need to replace Q38 and Q50. But we're gonna double check those, okay? So here's how we're gonna double check those. I'm going to unplug all the plugs. And then we're gonna check those two transistors again with no wires going to the board to make sure that it is a transistor and still it's not a board or a wire problem. Because in theory, if the wires are plugged into the board, it could still be showing the problem. You know what I mean? By eliminating the wires from the board, now we're testing the component only. If that makes sense. We don't have any sort of interruptions here. So now we are completely unplugged. We can check Q50 again and see if that still beeps. If it doesn't beep, then maybe the transistor is not bad, but I'm gonna think it's gonna beep. Good. I'm glad that it beeped, to be honest with you. Okay, those two beeped. Everything else is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead on a limb and say the 5X was a connection problem, maybe the bulb socket, and I messed with it yesterday and it came on. Could have been something stupid like that. So I'm gonna dismiss that as probably not a problem. So all right, we're gonna go replace those two. And we're gonna take them off this other board I have. Unless I have some of those transistors, which I don't know that I do. I don't know what numbers they are. But I need to get this board out of here. And we can pop those two in. Barely has any, has one screw holding it in maybe? Is anything holding it in? No screws. We just have plastic connectors. And that's really, honestly, I don't know that that's a good thing. Because these should ground. I believe there's a ground strap that touches those metal spots of the board. So having that not screwed in could cause bad ground too, which obviously is not this issue, but it would be good to put the screws in the board. So we got a couple of squeezing. Hate these things. That's the thing about these damn plastic things. There's always that one that does not want to come out. But I got it. Okay, so let me get set up in the other room here, and we're gonna go over these. Driver board's actually really nice shape. It's clean, very clean. I cannot read the writing on these things. T1824. I don't even know if I have those. I doubt it. I don't see that happening. So let's, soldering gun is warming up, and the desoldering gun is also warming up. So let me just take one of these guys here and let's test one. A couple of them. Make sure that the ones I'm taking out are in fact good and not blown up, because that would suck. Okay. That one's good. Switch my leads this way. Oh, it's on auto. Wonder why. Oh, I got it on the wrong setting again. There we go. Seems like almost all these are good, so that's a good thing. I'm just going to take these two right here. So Q38. Damn it. Don't like doing that. They bent them over so far that I was having a hard time getting them out. Okay, Q38's out. Gotta get Q50. Doing one last verification. Okay, because if they didn't beep out of circuit, could it be one of these chips? You know what I mean? I think one leg goes to each one or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but so now I got to grab these first two out of here. Well, that one's no good. The leg broke off, the center leg. Okay. Thanks, Greg, for the spare parts board. He gave it to me the other day. I think I screwed the solder pad up on that one. Not to worry, I could fix it. Maybe. There it is. I knocked out the transistor. Leg broke off it. Feels like the leg's gonna break off of this one too. Not good. Not good. Looks like somebody stepped on this board. This one looks decent. We'll get it. Should probably order some of these, but Playboy has a new lamp driver board. This game I'm selling. Supersonic or Silver Ball's gonna have original one. Maybe I'll order some of these transistors so I have some as well. I jinxed myself. I turned off my desoldering iron before I should have. Just wondering if it'd be easier if I just use the solder gun. Not really. Pads are definitely brittle on these boards. At the back, I'm gonna get the single leg soldered first. Okay. Man, that just does not look like it's there. Double check it. Okay, that one's hooked up. One more. That one's screwed. Sometimes this takes a little bit of time, guys, especially if you're working with some used parts and stuff. Got one hole to clean out on 50. If I can. Use a solder gun. trace literally just fell right off the board. Fix it with a little piece of a resistor leg. Don't stick. Okay. Finally done with them. It took way longer than I should have. Okay. That one's not attached. That one leg is not attached. I'm getting my butt kicked on these. What the problem is the legs are not very long because I'm taking them off another board, so not making it easy for me. Test these differently. First, I'm going to find out which one goes to here. Twelfth one up. Okay, that's good. This one goes over to here. I'm gonna hold it there. And I'm gonna grab this leg on this side. I do not think we have a connection. Okay, we do. I was holding on the wrong one. Okay, and then this one goes from here one over. R50. That's the center leg. Okay, got a connection there. I wonder if this is an R38 here. If that would be that leg here. No. Maybe no. Okay. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Yep. So we have a good connection there. Let's check these other two legs. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Well, off this side. One, two, three, four. Okay. One left. One leg left to double verify here. That one goes to here, which is one of these guys here. Okay. They're all making good contact. I did think I saw a cold solder joint, which means I'll have to throw my soldering iron on again. Yep, definitely a cold solder joint. Pin right here. Clear as day. Pin 28. I wonder where that goes to. Honestly, I don't know that it does anything. There's nothing coming off it, but the one next to it is definitely a cold solder joint as well. And that one goes over to here, to one of these guys. Goes to the other side. What was that other number for 17? Don't know if I wrote it down or not. Number 17. Not 17. Let me go look at it real quick. Okay, while I was, I went and looked, the 5X multiplier, bonus multiplier, is Q1. And Q1 comes over to pin 5. And pin 5 doesn't look to be the greatest solder joint. So could that have been the problem last night? And why I turned it on today and it worked. So I'm going to reflow these. Looks like somebody did it somewhat. I'm going to go over them real quick. And then we'll be ready to go. Put this back in. And fingers crossed all the bulbs work. And that'll be done. Oh, my dog is mad. My one dog, my older boy dog, we have a doggy door that goes out in the dog pen, and then we have another one that goes out into the greenhouse. And for whatever reason, he'll go out the doggy door into the greenhouse, but he wants to come back in through the man door. He does not want to use the doggy door to come back in the house. So he'll stand out there and just bark. The other two dogs and the two cats use the doggy door into the greenhouse with no problems. He just likes to be a pain in the butt. There's actually quite a few cold solder joints on this. I bet you that's why the 5X didn't work yesterday. That ain't good. I just bridged two of them together. Damn it. Oh, somebody said I could change the sounds on the game. Board's warped pretty bad. I don't leave my desoldering gun on for too long because if I leave it on for more than like 15 minutes, it goes to sleep. So I just turn it off when I'm done with it. Come on. Still connected. Oh, those are nothing. I didn't need to desolder those. They're not hooked to anything. They can be connected. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to check too is my solenoid driver board. I want to make sure it's not a cold solder joint versus my wiring being bad, my new pins that I put on it. So I'm just going to leave that stuff on. I'll turn this off because that's just going to go to sleep anyways. Soldering gun can stay on. Let's go get this back in and turn it on. Okay. We got them all. 7 and 8 are now working. Let's turn it on lamp test. Okay, looks like we got every bulb working in here. Perfect, everything's working. So now I'm going to turn it back off. I am going to take the solenoid driver board out. Phillips screwdriver. And it's this connector here. But I'm going to look at all of them, obviously. That one's broke. Somebody's reflowed them all. They all look good. They're all reflowed. Okay. Probably not the funnest video, guys, but you know what? It's got to be done. Part of it. Screw's not big enough. Not fat enough. There we go. Found a broken wire. That was probably it, actually. I was pushing on this one, but it was probably that one. Fell right out of the connector. Bet you that was probably it. I'm gonna go grab another pin. Still shitty. Can't get it to go over the sleeve of the wire. The other day I knocked over my container of I had 156s in one side and then 100 pins in the other side of the tray. Spilled it, mixed them all together. So now I gotta sit there and go through them all and clean them, or separate them again. Because now they're all mixed together. Another wire came out. Okay, that's good now. Two bad ones. I like to keep filming it rather than cutting off and then just come back and be like, surprise, it works. Because I want you to see what I'm doing. A lot of guys do that. Okay. Yeah, I have the shittiest luck with those small pins. They're just, you have to be exactly right with them. If you don't have that casing in there exactly right, the pin will slide off. If you're wondering if I'm piling tools on my silver ball playfield, I have plastic on it. Double layer plastic. And yes, and a piece of paper. Okay. No. Got the screw out of the power supply. Lost the hoops down in there. Get that out in a minute. fuse back there. Brand new. And a screw, which goes to the soundboard, I'm guessing. All right, let's see if it fires up. All right. Everything's wrapped up in there. Connector's fixed. Wire holders are back on. We have screws in each board grounding to the metal plate. We're done with that part. Got 2 bulbs to change out here. This guy and this guy. Put it on lamp test mode one more time. Okay. I just need to clean up the playfield and put the glass on and touch up the back glass, and this pinball is done. Somebody was saying something about the metal rail by the flipper, and that's why the ball was jumping. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm confused by that. No idea. So whoever said that, elaborate, because I'm confused. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end this video. I'm happy we got all that fixed. Pretty simple, really wasn't hard at all. And confident the 5X was the cold solder joints on the lamp driver board. It not booting up all the time was those two wires that were loose on that one plug. So that's going to end this video, guys, and that's going to end the series on this. I'll probably just come back in the future and show you that I touched up the glass and the playfield glasses on and stuff like that. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to be working on Centipede, and I hope to finish it tomorrow. The only thing I won't have is a power cord. The guy wanted to put a green power cord on it, and he was having it shipped to me through Amazon, which that's not a big deal. That's like a 2-minute thing to put a power cord on the cabinet. But other than that, I'm hoping to finish up Centipede tomorrow. So you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening. Thanks.